Hey, Commodore. Before I get to the review, I just want to pass on my condolences to the family of Captain Redneck, who has tragically passed away from a stroke. He will be missed. If you want to do anything to help out his family during this time, there is a GoFundMe. Links in the description. I hope you guys can give what you can. And what more can I say except rest in peace, Captain Redneck. You will be missed by all of us, and hope to see you again someday. Hello, this is your Commodore Tycoles with a Twilight Zone review. Yes, I am done Season 1 with this review. So we got Season 1, Episode 10, Blurryman. So, it's an interesting episode because this is kind of like an episode in an episode. Because we start off with a great guest appearance by Seth Rogen.
Actually have to be right, statistically speaking. I mean, why do we act like imposter syndrome means that you aren't an imposter?
And it actually looks good. Like, I definitely want to see Seth Rogen in an actual Twilight Zone episode, not this episode within an episode type deal. So we see this happening, and we have Jordan starting his monologue, and then you hear cut.
He's about to learn that there's more to art than entertainment. He's about to, you know what? I think we can beat this. Is Sophie here?
So we know it's them filming a show of the Twilight Zone. We're introduced to the writer of the episode, Sophie, and she's talking to Jordan as he's getting ready to redo the scene because he's not feeling the opening monologue.
I think that the meaning is there with like the episode, you know? You can just like do a pass on the narration, just make it simple. Take out some of all of the hard the entertainment stuff. Just, you know, give me your version and I'll make it sound cool.
It just doesn't feel right. And from what she's saying, she says she's a fan of the show, but yet doesn't care about the genre or doesn't take it seriously. Thinks it's just a bunch of campfire stories and hogwash and all that.
Like the slippery slope, right, from the path from superhero movies or like stupid sci-fi crap to idiocracy.
I mean, our show is sci-fi, right?
Yeah, but it's the Twilight Zone.
She even says horror and sci-fi genres are BS. Like, what the fuck do you mean by that? If you don't take the fucking genre seriously or care about it, then you're not gonna write a good episode. Plain and simple. Like, I don't care how big of a fan you were of the original. If you don't give a rat's ass what you're writing, it's gonna be shit. This is complete and utter bull. Whatever. She then goes back and tries to rewrite it, but for some reason she just can't, because maybe she just doesn't give a rat's ass to actually care about what she's doing. She just wants the bloody paycheck. So she ends up rewriting it, but strangely enough, the monologue changes and it starts to focus on her, that she needs to open up.
Except the story is one of inexplicable terror, and the lifetime is her own. Her name is Sophie Gelson. She has little patience for childish diversions.
So they end up thinking that someone just is trying to prank her, and they call for another break, which is starting to piss off the director and everyone because they want to get this done. So, and then they realize that in a shot they took, there's a blurry man in the background.
You should have seen Owen's face when he found out there were no takes without this guy. I don't notice that, right? Nobody remembers seeing this guy.
Or asking her about it, and then they're showing you other clips, specifically the first episode, the comedian, and there's the same blurry man.
The first episode. But once you notice it, you can't unnotice it. That's the same guy, right?
And this is when stuff goes completely weird. So she tries to find Jordan, but she can't find him because they're on lunch or something, or he's somewhere.
That is lunch back here in an hour.
Hey, sorry. Do you know where Jordan is? Oh, nobody could find him.
But so she's going around, and we're seeing some cool sets. Some of the sets from earlier episodes, like the Wonderkind, and you're also seeing clips of the Blue Scorpion, which was the previous episode. But then all of a sudden, we go back into a library set, and it's completely destroyed, and it's 2 a.m.
It's Sophie. Sorry to call you something. Sophie's school.
How the hell did it get from noon to 2 a.m. like a snap of your finger? We also see the set from Point of Origin in the grocery store. The blurry man is chasing her and following her, and you get some really tense and scary moments. But it's just like weird. Like you have that uneasy feeling watching it. So she runs out into the outside set where we see more of the clips of various shows on the TVs. She still thinks it's someone pulling a prank on her. And she's realizing that maybe I shouldn't be taking this stuff like I shouldn't take the genres of horror and sci-fi lightly. And it's not BS.
I get it. Jordan's putting you up to this, right? Because it's real? Because horror is real? The genre stuff isn't just bullshit?
No shit. Then we see her go back into the studios area, and it's back to normal. It's like they're filming, like nothing happened, but they can't see her. Meanwhile, she's having a discussion with herself and everything. And we get a flashback to her in her youth, childhood, watching the classic Twilight Zone, specifically the episode Time Enough at Last.
Come on. Let her watch the show.
It's just make-believe stories. She needs to get out in the real world with real people.
She could do both.
And she basically rips off the opening monologue of that episode for her episode. Yeah, no kidding. That's what it seems like a lot these days. They're just ripping off the good stuff. But that wasn't good enough. And she's still hearing her own voice in her head. She's still like talking to herself. And you start to see it go slow, black and white. She's outside. It starts to go, it's like black and white. She's going up the stairs to the library, and it's the same like set from Time Enough at Last, and we see the guy's broken glasses. and she confronts the Blurryman. And guess what? It's none other than Rod Sterling, the original host, telling her that she has much to learn as he does his monologue and brings her in to the Twilight Zone.
Sophie Gilson has just awoken to the fact that when we put away childish things, we may be closing our eyes instead of opening them. And that perhaps our only hope is to face all reality.
Overall, great episode. I really enjoyed it. But from episode 1 to now, it's the same bloody problem. It's too damn long. You could have easily made this a half an hour episode, maybe a bit, or made it not so dragged out, because I think the dragging out took away from the shock and the scare of and the creepiness of this episode. Hell, we had 3 times where we had nothing but a black screen for 5 seconds apiece. And it's like, some of these scenes like were repetitive. Like, you show the scene from the comedian when she's in the editing room, and then later on when she's running around scared for her life, you see the same scene. So like, you could have easily eliminated one of them. And her looking for Jordan was unnecessary, and you kind of drawn out the chase scene, because everyone loves the chase scene in horror movies. No, you want to see the thing happen. That's where I feel like the writers of this series have lost touch, because they're thinking, oh, we got to make it bigger and longer and better. No, if you could tighten it and put it into that half-hour format that the original series was able to do back in the late 1950s, early 1960s, people would be loving this show. Because I think Jordan Peele does a decent job. Like, he's no Rod Sterling, but he does a decent job being the narrator. He has that feel to him. But for some effed up reason, they keep ruining them by making them these 40, 50 minute long episodes, almost hour long episodes. This proves that more is not always better. That's the biggest takeaway from this whole series so far, is that they're writing these decent episodes, really good episodes. Like, they have really good stories, but instead of putting them in the half-hour format, they're putting it in an hour format, which is just making it drag on. So you lose interest in it. So for your Commodore tadpoles, you are now exiting the Twilight Zone.
Thank you for watching the video. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, watch one of my other videos, and if you can show your support by donating to my PayPal.
So for Commodore Ty, live long and prosper. For now, until next time, the hailing frequencies are closed.